Now, to understand the broader implications of China implementing Article 38 of the new law, I spoke with Olivia Enos, Senior Policy Analyst with the Asian Studies Center at the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, when I was on here before, we talked about, the national security law as a hypothetical. Then I came on and we talked about it as a reality. And when we talked about it as a reality, we said maybe in the future there's the possibility that Beijing is going to try to make this law applicable extraterritorially. And now we're seeing that happen. So I think that a lot of the, fears surrounding the national security law are being confirmed. And I think that this is something that the U.S. needs to unequivocally take a stand against. Obviously, this is affecting, a U.S. citizen, but it's also affecting citizens of other countries extraterritorially. And we've been outspoken either way about how it has impacted the Hong Kong people who are located in Hong Kong. So I think that there's a really strong need to condemn this, to take strong action against it. Chinese law can't apply and shouldn't apply extraterritorially. So I think we need to be very clear and unequivocal about that.
A number of countries have already ended extradition treaties with Hong Kong for fear that this may have come to pass, that China would try to extradite its own citizens from abroad to stand trial locally there. Given that that has been taking place over the past several weeks since the NSL was implemented, is the arrest warrant more for those living abroad, or is that trying to be sent as a message to family members still within the Chinese borders?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's primarily a threat on their families or a threat to them. But I think it does reveal, again, the vulnerability of the Chinese Communist Party, that they find individuals who are talking about democratic freedoms fundamentally threatening to their rule. And so whether or not they're trying to target the family members of Hong Kongers or the outspoken activists themselves, I think sends the same message to them that, ideas of democracy, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, protesting and otherwise are not welcome in this new era of Hong Kong.
Moving forward, you called for strong rebuke for China for implementing this, but aside from sanctions and just policies being implemented, what can be done to, really affect change in Hong Kong since it is part of China?
Yeah, I think that's the big $1 million question. And we saw the handing down of a new executive order a couple of weeks back from the president that definitely changes specific aspects of Hong Kong's special status. So I think that the major blow has kind of already been struck. I think that there are certain elements of the special status that remain in place. One of them, and I think rightfully so, is not changing the peg on the U.S. dollar for Hong Kong, which would really significantly harm financial institutions.
That was Heritage Foundation Senior Policy Analyst Olivia Enos.